I will say, maybe for shock value, Panic have definitely shocked me the most that I have ever seen from an OCE team coming into a league. So, kudos to Panic and what they've achieved. But we can start to actually divulge in this conversation a little bit more because Panic and Odium, both teams at the moment, they have a very, very fair claim, a fair stake in this matchup, Mandy. But it does feel as though the favour would be leaning toward Odium. But do you think that might be more so experience bias coming out?
Not necessarily.
No?
I think because Odium have got a bunch of new players as well. I mean, they've got Dirty in who hasn't played at a tier 1 level yet. Same, I suppose you can argue with Quixie as well. I mean, he was on Desire last stage, but I feel like their run was so abysmal that it's pretty hard to consider that good experience.
Right,
so I think for Odium, these guys have come together. They're a team with not a lot of experience, and then they've come in and they've looked super competitive. Just the way that their team structure has gone, I think the composition in general leans into a lot of these players that are willing to do the dirty jobs. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be a star fragger, but someone needs to play Thatcher. Someone needs to bring flashbangs for something. Someone needs to get on floors when it's necessary. It's I think you've got a couple players on Odium that are willing to go and slot themselves in to do what is necessary to win. And I think that's something that differentiates some of these Odium players from probably the rest of the league, to be honest, minus Bliss, where you've got lots of players on that team that are willing to do that as well. So I think, for me, the new pickups on this team have been really good because I feel like they've just filled up the holes that the previous iteration of Odium didn't have.
Dev, moving into BO3s, excited or scared?
I'm excited because BO3 is how Siege should be played, and we've seen Odium be pretty good at it in the past as well. For example, they actually took down Big Dog, so the old Panic roster in a BO3 back in the qualifiers for this tournament for the OCE League. They did the same for the Order LFO, now 6 targets roster. They actually breezed through most of their BO3s. In fact, the last time they lost a BO3 was back in the campaign to the ex-Mammoth, now Man Esports roster, and they did get revenge over those guys during the regular stage when they took them down 7-4. And I think the two highlights of the season thus far for Odium have been taking down Man Esports 7-4. Now, Man Esports was the main other team that was vying for second place alongside Odium. And of course, the obvious one, getting 6 rounds off of Bliss and actually taking the top dogs down a notch. There is a huge achievement for these guys. Losing that game 6-8 feels like a win. Funnily enough, there are 2 teams who have done that so far in this stage. The second one you might have heard of, they're called Panic.
No, the team that are playing them toe-to-toe, head-to-head, all fun and games until both of these teams get in the server. Panic certainly have impressed. We've mentioned it time and time again, even just in the opening segment so far of this desk. We have commented on Panic's ability to shock and awe us from the beginning, and it has not stopped short, Mandy. They went all the way down to the wire. They pushed Bliss to overtime, which then kind of led them to actually finding a spot securely in the playoffs.
Yeah, getting that second point, additional point from what we thought was going to be no points, really gave them that edge over the top of some of those bottom 2 teams. And I think for Panic, the way that they played against the Team Bliss yesterday, the style of play that they brought into the server, to me was pretty unexpected. They looked a lot more aggressive than I anticipated this Panic team to be. I mean, Sean said it himself in the interview, this is a team with historically 4 support players on it. You consider these people to be more passive, more safe, sensible maybe is the right word, right? But I think in that Team Bliss game yesterday, why is Sean running at them? You know what I mean? It's not just Karma is getting in on it. Everyone is just doing this such random stuff, getting involved in the action, peeking all these doors and windows, and I think it really caught Bliss off guard, to be honest. And it's not really a Browner Siege that I expected to see from them at all in the entire stage, but I think it's pretty clear that as the stage has gone on, they look a bit more confident in themselves and in the way that they're playing, and they're willing to try new things.
Dev, to double down on Mandy's point there, Oda said in his interview, 1, it was a lot faster paced than he expected, so going right in line with Mandy's comment, and then 2, he said, do not take anything away from them. They played really good Siege, which again, Bliss were not expecting. Is that a prelude for today?
I think it is. Yeah, I actually think Panic are a really good team. Sometimes you see underdogs or dark horse rosters get a few sneaky wins here or there, and you could argue it's from cheese play. That's not what Panic do. And also, as much as we love to hype up Karma and call this team Karma Esports, because he is absolutely insane, this is not a one-man roster. Karma is fantastic, and sometimes he'll just have a 3K that just wins around for them. But this is a well-oiled machine with the rest of this team. Shont has been a standout performer for me, and the fact that he's the second highest rated on this team while also being the main leadership figure, the main support player, really speaks volumes about what this player is capable of. But just speaking about that fast-paced siege that we expect out of Panic, I've actually got some stats to back it up.
Oh, I love it.
Believe it or not, this is the third best opening team in the league right now. They win 52% of their opening engagements, and that's only behind Bliss and, funnily enough, Circular Spheres. Can you guess who the worst opening engagement team is in this league?
Bliss?
It's Odium!
No!
Odium
Are you actually being serious?
45%. So
wow,
that is pretty substantial, right? You compare like the best team at Bliss wins 59% of their entries, and the worst team in Odium only wins 45%. So it's pretty amazing that Odium, a team full stacked with gunners, actually struggles at that early round at converting or finding that opening pick. Obviously, they're pretty good at converting numbers as advantages because they've won a lot of their games, even despite having bad entry stats. But it's going to be interesting observing the opening engagements in this game because on the one hand, you got gunners like Saved who are really good on Odium at those entries, and then you got Karma and have a look at the entry kill stat on this graphic right now.
Yeah, it's
like
insane.
22% of rounds that he plays, Karma is getting the opening pick. 22%.
That's insane.
That is insane. Like 1 every 5 rounds, Karma's getting the opening kill. That's ridiculous. Like, not even just that he's dying, like he's actually finding that pick. And it just speaks volumes about what this team's capable of on their entries.
It certainly does. Again, really when we're trying to look at... I'm not going to use the terms win conditions here, but when we start to actually look at this game, isolate it. Again, I like to use the word boiler pot because I like to kind of isolate the terms and I guess the terms for victory a little bit more. If that is a key element to how Panic get across, that is a very, very impressive stat. Because right now, when you look at Karma, when you look at the things that this roster has achieved, honestly, I genuinely think that they've got a chance. I think that they've got a position to play for. Look, do they make it to the grand final? They've got the second and third best team in the region to get through before they get there. You go to Odium, who we're kind of... it is neck and neck between them and Man LFO. They have the toughest journey to get to Manchester, but it's always where the hero's journey starts, is with really the biggest amount of adversity possible. And I don't think that you could look at any other game in this bracket and say, yeah, they've got a freer ride. Like CS and Antic, that game I still think has some weight. It'll be interesting, but Panic's story will be something that we do want to follow. Manny, I will open this up a little bit here because we have a little bit of time. I know you've been note-taking.
Yeah.
Is there anything in this match in particular that you want to discuss?
I think a big thing for these two teams is stamina, in my opinion. So we haven't seen BO3s in a while. We haven't seen it since the campaign.
Yep.
And not only that, but the two iterations of teams probably haven't seen BO3s as this 10 in the server at all. And I think for new teams in a best of 3, stamina management can be quite tough.
Sure.
And stamina isn't just like, whether you can like keep clicking your buttons. It's, it's retaining energy management, right? And energy management isn't always just being consistently hype throughout the entire thing, right? It's about like, pacing how excited you are throughout the entire game. And I think one of the traps that some of these new teams can fall into is they'll like run out of steam after the first map of hyping each other up and getting really excited. I think it's really important that I think the leaders of these two teams are able to make sure that, you have enough steam for the entire BO3. Not just that, but I think focus as well is a big thing. As the rounds go on, they can get repetitive. Rainbow Six is an iterative game, right? And so, being able to catch out on small mistakes or like, make sure you're doing things down in detail can be quite hard in the BO3. And because these two teams are so new to the format, it's something that I'm going to be looking out for.
Now, Dev, if we were to look at kind of leaders on teams, as Mandy suggested there, trying to make sure that we, I guess, set expectations for them as well. Shont and President, both in their own right, have been gunners this stage as well. They're not only are they taking the lead, taking the charge, but they're also putting up performances. Yeah,
I've been hugely impressed by both of them. I'm a big fan of both players, and as we saw there, Shont's actually the second best statistical performing player on Panic right now.
Crazy.
Which is phenomenal because he's on a team with so many stack gunners. Yeah, I do think that a lot of it comes down to that leadership. We've talked a little bit about maybe OCE right now as a region is actually struggling a little bit for leadership figures.
Yep.
And that's why we're really praising these players like Hunter and Shont and Present to some degree. But I really want to highlight like the newer IGLs and the newer leader figures.
Sure.
And for me, like these two teams have surprised me the most this stage of any roster. And
Yep.
I'm not just saying that because it sounds cool because I'm trying to overhype this game. Like, seriously, coming into this stage, I saw the roster shuffle that went where Mammoth or Man LFO lost 2 of their best players over to Antic. I saw Odium lose 2 of their best players over to Man LFO, and I saw Odium pick up 2 kind of nobodies in Dirty and Quixie, like real rookies.
Yep.
And I was like, who's lost this shuffle? It's obvious. It's Odium.
Very obvious.
And then they ended up being phenomenal. Like Quixie, clearly his potential was totally untapped when he was playing on Desire. And now that he's on a team that really knows how to utilize him, both as a support, like, you know, continuing his checklist, but also just fragging the hell out.
Yeah.
Dirty, who's like such a clear-minded player as well and has experience in other FPS titles, which I think is great because it brings a different perspective on how to play Siege instead of getting really bogged down on metas of past years.
Yep.
Odium massively surprised me by even being in the top 4 conversation. Panic surprised me by not getting eliminated in 8th.
Yes.
Like the fact that they took points off Bliss, if you told me, and Playday 1, that Panic were going to get points off Bliss, I would have said, come on, you know, like what day is it? It must be April 1st or whatever. That is like ridiculous. Both of these teams have massively outperformed my expectations already. And one of them has to go home today, or at least be eliminated from contention today.
Yes.
But whichever one continues marching on through, like I say the sky's the limit. I wouldn't be surprised if they make it to a grand final and end up maybe facing Bliss in it.
Well, the fact of the matter is, yes, we're expecting Bliss to make it to Manchester, but how they get there, that is what really the story needs to be unfolded, right?
And maybe they don't, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, that's possible.
100%.
Maybe they don't.
Dev?
Maybe. Maybe.
What planet are you on?
Bro, have you seen, like,
That's what I'm saying.
VP didn't qualify for playoffs in Europe.
Bro's
Like,
an alien.
Beast Coast won the NAL. Anything is possible.
Mandy?
Bro's an alien.
I'm just saying. Okay.
I don't know.
You're
what-
biased.
I don't know.
You are
Like,
so
your
biased,
brain is-
so you can't say
I don't
anything
know
about Bliss.
What UFO you came down on this planet from, but
Clark
The
Kent
same
over
one
here.
as Mark Zuckerberg. I wish I could say Clark Kent, but I'm more of a Zuckerberg kind of character, I think.
Actually, yeah. I think you definitely give Mark Zuckerberg energy.
At least the attractive one in the social network, hopefully. I'd rather that,
Yeah.
if that's okay.
Great movie. As you can tell,
Maybe we can watch it to fill the time.
No, could you imagine? Could we just
Do you
bring
know
it up
that-
on one of the CRTs?
Maybe can we reenact the opening scene? I'll get the script. and
Yeah,
then
we can do that. We can do a read.
I'm totally capping. Like, please, can we not do that? Where are we at the minute? Just with like the show.
We're chilling.
Okay,
We're chilling.
chilling.
There's no rush for us.
All
So
right.
that's why we're kind of opening the conversation a little bit. Things have gotten off course. But
How about this
honestly,
weather, huh?
yeah, Dev, if Bliss do not make it to Manchester,
You
genuinely,
will shave your head.
I'll shave my head.
All right.
I'll shave my head.
What if you
gone.
get Dev Marta tattooed like somewhere really obvious? Would you do that?
What if I get it tattooed on my upper thigh?
I would love that. And
Done.
anytime things get a little bit like saucy back home with the missus, you're just thinking about me.
Done. There we go. See, it's a fantastic transition into the map vetoes. Couldn't think of a better way to start talking about the maps. Oh, God, we love it. Best of threes now. Things change a little bit. The conversation now skews more away from, it doesn't really matter what map we go to, it should be competitive, to this could be a dominant affair on a certain map for a certain team. Mandy, do you have any idea where we're going?
I don't know.
No.
So my thoughts are that Panic has played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the maps. So their map pool should be fairly okay.
Yep.
I think Odium played 6. So what we see them go to, I think they'll probably just be banning out each other's strengths, to be honest.
Sure. That's scary.
So that's what I'm seeing with the bank ban there from Panic, because typically
that's
Panic's...
exactly what I'm thinking too.
Well, typically Panic's
and
bans
the
are...
Sky ban as well. Sorry, from Odium.
okay.
I think it's the same both
Feel,
ways.
feel free to jump in whenever, but I'm just thinking about Panic, like Cons, Cafe, and Nighthaven are the 3 that they just like actually insta-ban. And it's interesting for me that they, instead of going with one of the insta-bans, they banned out one of Odium's strengths. And we end up going to Border first up, which is a bit of a ballsy pick in my mind from Odium. Like, we have seen them play it before. Not that it was like an amazing result. They did lose it, but it was to Bliss. And it was actually the game that they got 6 rounds off Bliss. So clearly Odium may be feeling good about their Border after that game. But it's a bit of a risk because Panic actually very rarely ban Border.
I was going to say
but
that.
It's always banned against them.
Yeah.
So there's no
I feel
info.
like I think Border's in their pool as well. I think they found a middle ground somewhere on Border. And even though we haven't seen Panic play, I think it should be pretty even, to be honest, if you ask me. I think it's pretty clearly in these guys' pool.
Yeah. It's funny, though, as well, because Panic has come out and picked Chalet, which is the map that they got 6 rounds off of Bliss on. So both teams are like, hey, we did well on Bliss against Bliss on these maps, so we're going to pick both of them. So in theory, that's a pretty good sign. Odium, also a good Chalet team. They beat Man LFO there as well. And Cafe is actually banned by Odium, which I thought that was really a Panic ban.
Yeah. I mean, I guess at that point, like, what do Odium go ahead and ban Labs? You know, you're kind of floating things there. But the fact that 2 of Panic's hard bans kind of came last does surprise me a little bit. Obviously, this is the beauty of BO3s.
Well, I think the thing about the Cafe ban is it's an overlap auto ban for both of these teams, in my opinion. It tends to be in that pool of like one of the first few maps banned out for both of them. So the way I see it was that Panic and Odium were playing chicken to see who would ban out Cafe first, essentially. And it had to go out eventually, and Odium took it out. Labs being taken out, to me, it's just Panic probably don't play it, to be honest. Like that's the way that I see it. That, or it's probably just a low preference map, really.
It seems like a low preference map in general in OCE at the moment.
Yeah. There are some teams that like it. Bliss, for example, pretty good on it, but they're kind of good at everything, to be fair. I don't think Odium play Night Haven Labs either, to be honest. Like the last time they played it, they lost it to the Osiris roster, now Antic back in the campaign, and that was quite a few months ago with the old roster. So we end up on Oregon for the final map. Now, I really think Panic need to be careful on Oregon. It's the map that they got 7-0'd on by Antic, whereas for Odium, we actually haven't seen them play it as of yet, and it has snuck into some of their ban phases on their side, some on the opposition, so I don't think it's their favorite map, probably not their least favorite map either. It is funny, though, because I do have like a long-term stat here, because Odium haven't played this Oregon since all the way back in January in the campaign. But if you look back historically, like Odium, this roster's been around for a while, maybe not in this iteration, technically on a 9-game winning streak on Oregon, but that is like super historical. It's more of a fun stat than like actually bearing weight, because obviously the team could have completely reworked their Oregon since then. But it is funny because if they do win Oregon, then that's 10 maps in a row of Oregon being won by Odium.
Scary.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like the first 2 maps is really where I put the focus here. I think it's exciting, especially map 1, because we have no idea what Panic are cooking up on Border.
Yeah. All right. Very quickly. Game is ready, but final predictions on who wins the series. Don't care about the map.
Panic, man.
Panic?
I'm on the Panic train.
Odium 2-1. That's my prediction.
2-1. Do we think, what, Dev, 2-0, 2-1?
2-0, 7-0, 7-1.
Oh my God, shut up. Well, we can stop waffling here and we can throw it over to the most casters.
We are the most, just like this is the most league, apparently. And also no threat for these players, for these teams, because guess what? Paul is in control, and he is ready to take the reins for this first quarter-final matchup, Odium versus Panic. Both maps that they get are the maps in which they did well against Team Bliss, must bode well, and I must say, I think having seen the map Veto, this has all of the hallmarks of going the distance. All 3 maps, I've just got that feeling for this series.
Yeah, I'm eager to jump into this series. I have predicted Panic. It is, though, the underdog in this story. I really like, though, the fact that was brought up by James on the desk, the entry stat so big in this match. Panic have done phenomenal in that part of the game, whereas Odium have had their issues. Here on Border, we know the entry is critical and a map where you can snowball advantages quickly. So eager to jump into this. And honestly, it's just great to have best of 3s and O's. It's about bloody time. It is.
Yeah, and also the fact that this is the first ever playoffs where we will send a team from Oceania to a major. So you can climb that bracket, you can run that gauntlet. 3 best of 3s would need to be won for these teams, respectively. Of course, those that finished in the top 2 of the group stage, they get the bye to waiting in the wings. Man LFO for these 2, respectively. And then on the other side of the bracket, Team Bliss for the other matchup later tonight, Antic and Circular Spheres. We also say goodbye to 2 teams again tonight, as we did yesterday when we finalized the group stage. We said goodbye to the older veterans, 6 targets, Kelton's Knights. They'll have to try again next stage. And we are going to send 2 more teams home tonight as well. But they're not veterans. These are teams that are on the rise, on the come up, especially Odium and Panic, 2 teams that for all intents and purposes weren't necessarily considered to be semi-finalists. One of them will be.
So the ban phase then plays out. Odium on the attack first, so Panic with the opening attacking ban. We see the dog will be taken off the board first. The 3rd most prominent ban here in OCE, followed up by the Grim, not too far behind in 5th, I believe. Does leave the Ying through, who has the highest presence thus far. Defensively, though, We're not going to stray too far away from the unexpected outside of the Solace making it through. That does mean that the most banned attacker and defender will be available in this game.
There is just that hint of, you know, seriousness in the air for these matches and how much they matter far more than the group stage seeding matches. It's win and you go through, lose and you're out. Your chance at Manchester will be done if you do not win this series. You don't have to worry about points. You don't have to worry about overtimes and 2 points or 1 point. Win or lose. It's as simple as that. Odium will attack first here on border. Panic on the defense to begin. I was having a glimpse at the player cams. Everyone looks pretty well composed.
Oh, Quixie looks very dapper. I don't know if you saw his
I did see
little
that.
outfit.
River actually's got a really nice shirt on. It looked like he was ready to go on a date. Maybe he's got somewhere to be. This could be quick.
Date with Destiny, maybe.
Date with Destiny, potentially. Panic Esports. It needs to not be the Karma show tonight. I think that's a very easy storyline to follow. Dev coined it perfectly a couple of weeks ago. Karma Esports. Well, I mean, I think if they're to beat Odium, they're going to need more than just Karma.
5 seconds left before insertion. Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued to see how he plays tonight. Just how influential he's going to be. Quixie, I look like Manic in his 20s. I don't think Manic has ever looked that good, but sure. Twitch in play for this first attack. Oh, it's a lockdown below. Straight away, I mean, Seanplay's contact was saved. We know how good saved has been on that entry roll, but again, the woes for Odium on that first fight proved to once again be a problem here in round 1. It is, though, traded. The double up from Quixie through that detention position does pay off, but a bit of a messy start to this game.
Yeah, when you're playing that Solace, you've got to be very careful when you're roaming around trying to clear out those drones to deny information, especially around bot metal. Quixie with a swift entry on the buck. And that's a good way to open things up. What was that trade? Saved has lost his life as well. So 1-for-1. Top east stairs seems to be the main point of attack right now for Odium. Early days. Armory and Archives here with this opening round of border. Karma's the one to watch, no doubt about it. He's been playing a lot of the Malusi. We saw it yesterday, seeing it again here. 2 kills in the round now for Quixie with the kill onto Arwen. A chance now for Karma to get involved the first time in this match. Quixie does go down eventually to Reelers. Karma losing this battle over towards Fountain, able to just kind of fall back. Still has got that deployable shield. They can play behind and eventually goes all the way back to site. 3 versus 3. Now Bappin will step up to the plate and see what he can do.
Yeah, box position still being held. River, though, has been spotted on that drone. Nitro in pocket. Still eager to hold this position. Will not want to peel too early into the piece, but eventually falls back top metal. That forfeits this security position then for the attack, and Odium will want to take that space. Dirty confirms it. Clear on the drone, but River lurking down below again with that Nitro will be a threat. President over towards office, gets entry to Selmas and could open up into Archives if he so wishes. River doesn't need his Nitro for that pick. It's the MPX to pick up Bappin. And Panic now with the advantage on defense late into the round. The onus now on President and Dirty to try and make this work, but it will be a challenging final push.
Yeah, big kill for Karma onto President, and then Dirty was playing behind him with the kit. A little too slow, shot through the wall. Reelers gets the opening kill, or the last kill of that in the opening round. Panic on the board to begin here in this best of 3. It was a very swift entry start for Quixie. Got 2 kills, actually, on the buck down below. But Odium unable to follow up on that, and Panic was strong defensively on site. As such is the case when it comes to Armory and Archives, though, on this particular map. Bathroom and Talers now coming up in this second round. Good start for Panic. It was very much, I think it was like a 40-60 split on our crew. 60 in favor of Panic, interestingly enough. I think Dev was the one who mentioned it on the desk in his surprise. That Panic just slightly favored over Odium. Oh god, Owen.
Bomb located by attackers.
Camera in position.
Wow. Come on guys, it's a playoff best of 3.
Gravy to the major.
Jesus. For those unaware, by the way, Gravy is Karma's cat.
It is.
So Owen is just implying that Gravy is, well, let's just say it's Panic. They're not the only ones playing bathroom right now.
So the Valkyrie to reappear here, round 2. Combine that with the Solace, and there's big information gathering tools available to defense. Odium respond, though, jumping off of the Twitch is Dirty, now onto Brava for the second round. So the Cludge drones can be used to hack default cameras. Perfect example here, 90. Valkyrie camera also pinged inside of security. Dirty can deal with that. There's some really effective use of these Cludge drones early on in the round from Dirty. That one failing because he left the AoE too quickly. But can quickly readjust, get back to that and clear it and give the team some information in towards security. Owen elsewhere was taken low but can reposition and get that shield down as an additional buffer against the horizontal push. Just work on the exterior at the moment from Odium. Salma's going out from Prez. Good information gathering though from Odium elsewhere. I feel like at this point in time of the round, they have a pretty good read as to what this defensive hold is. Karma identified over towards top east, the danger man from Panic. Will Odium try to hunt him down? We saw that last night from Bliss. The death marks from the Deimos to directly counter him. River, first fight, loses it out. Good work there from the Gemini to bait out that position. Bit of info. Quixie to capitalize. Yeah,
and good start from Quixie. 2 rounds in a row now. He's been able to find these opening kills. 3 kills now overall. It's a good sign here on Border. But it's the late round execution where Panic were better in the opening round and are looking still well set up here in the second. Karma over towards bot waiting. Good position here. Can hold, can hide. Doesn't really need a show position. Hasn't been droned out. Only 2 remain and he eventually swung towards lobby. Got the kill on to Saved, who has not really been able to make much of an impact inside of the opening 2 rounds. Just over 60 seconds left. Bappen finds one into Owen. Karma just confirming. Top east stairs. No one pushing. So good control at least over towards waiting. 4 versus 3 though. Once again, Odium have got the players' advantage as they did in the opening round. It's all about the capitalization though.
Yeah, Karma's still in a threatening position, but the rest of the team dying elsewhere. Karma now can really hold that lobby position. Shant repositioning. Can Karma get some good timing here? Oh, he will. So he now has the cross in towards the objective, provided he doesn't get squeezed from east stairs.
Oh, he's going for a flank. He knows there's one in lobby, by the way. I saw that yellow ping. So Karma's playing around that. Doing the due diligence, making sure maybe no one else wants to make entry in towards Passport. Might have heard Dirty. Only 18 seconds left. That's an interesting vaulting from Precedent, though. It never cleared above. But Karma loses his life. Maybe position known inside of Passport. Now the solo for Shant. Quixie has got the kit in hand. And a beautiful swinging shot from Bappen, and Odium are on the board here in the playoffs with their first round in this match. That was clinical. Started well, ended well. And maybe a sign of things to come.
Yeah, better work there on the entry from Odium. Good utilization of the Yana Geminis, and then Quixie with a clean follow-up on to River. It's a big talking point in this matchup. The ability, or perhaps inability, for Odium to win entry battles. And so far, that conversion proving to be important in the first 2 rounds of this match. Karma tried his best. He held his position over towards top east. Unfortunately, the rest of the team let him down. He was then isolated well by the attack. So, good response from Odium. Rotation over towards vents for round 3 from Panic.
Attackers discovered the location of a...
Yeah, the beauty of the playoffs as well is you can kind of just not worry too much about the historical nature of these teams, especially the statistics. Just comes down to round by round. The way you close out. You just get that feeling when it's an important game. You rise to the occasion, or at least the best players typically do. Real is trying to once again have a decent impact here on the Solus. The safe drone does get spotted in the drone hole. So far, good signs at least from both teams. Early days. Both have been able to have their moments to begin. Odium to me just strikes more as the team though that is not going to be as reliant on a singular player. Bappen has started well. You know you're going to get a little bit more from Saved later in this game. Quixie's also started well. Panic Look at that last round, Karma. Yeah, he had good position, but no one played into him. So he wasn't able to make impact, therefore they lost the round. Opening kill. This time, though, guess who? It is indeed Karma.
I mean, Saved is very hot and cold. He's had some good matches so far in this stage where he's been that difference maker and been strong on entry. But he's also had a couple of cold matches, and honestly, that's probably why Odium's entry stat doesn't look too great at the moment. Is maybe he's been too cold on too many occasions. Caught off guard there. Do that armory wall, which was soft. Pressure now on the rest of the team. Bappen's been playing well. Standout so far, currently at a 153 EPS, and he's been combining well with the Brava. Quixie, he got the opener last round, taken down this time around. Two-man advantage for Panic. Really an opportunity now for the defense to simplify, not give away anything for free. President to try and get something to work over towards top floor. Salma's in towards Archives. Bappen's still a threat and is alive. Question will be, can he be put in a playmaking position? It's going to be tough.
Still good time, though, for Bappen, Dirty, and President to figure things out, find a kill or two, especially Panic, get a little overzealous. Bappen just scouting out through lobby and towards bathroom. Of which Realiz is currently hiding in. Bappen should be able to drone this out. Keyword is should, and does. Right now, they've still got enough time. If they can find a pinch here onto Realiz, opens up a decent rotate hole. They are, though, making sure that he doesn't get out of this position. A lot of time being committed. And honestly, they need to do this cleanly. Cannot afford to lose another player from here with only 45 seconds. Great swing, that's President. Had a good stage. Winning these kind of battles is not something he was, well, used to be known for. Far more capable. Bappen just switched off at the last second. River was going for a little lurk. And through customs, finds a big kill. Compounding this advantage now for Panic. Yeah, Dirty was able to get one more back, but now 2 versus 3. There's not many bodies left up for Odium. River fighting to second. Some critical kills late in this round. And suddenly Dirty now the solo remaining for Odium. In a round that has always seen them being played from behind at the beginning after losing Saved. They've never really looked likely here in this round. Goes for the plant. Immediately gets off it. Nitrocell from Sean. Can't really get the kill. Never mind. Onto Sean. He does find it, but no time left. Panic win the round. That's the main objective. 2-1.
Well, that's 3 rounds now where the entry is being converted, so I think it's pretty safe to say at this point that it's going to be a very important part of this match, and that, again, doesn't actually bode all that well for Odium. It's a bit of a concern. Last round there, Saved losing his life over towards that armory balcony position, as the replay will show now. Pretty quickly compounded into a 3 versus 5. I do think that the remaining 3 players actually did an okay job in trying to isolate the likes of Bathroom, and President won that pick. River over-aggressing a little bit in through customs actually was rewarded. So the plaudits go to him in preventing that attack from, you know, producing much more in the late round. But it all goes back to the entry battle. Again, like I said, especially on border, I think it's going to be so critical. It's already proven to be in the first 3 rounds. Odium need to put all their stock into giving Saved those playmaking opportunities, and for Saved himself, back himself in with that confidence to win these
And he's
duels.
playing the Ana as well, which is one of the safer entry operators in terms of using the Gemini, getting information, pushing off of that. So far, though, to be fair, in that last round, he just kind of got tapped early on the exterior, pushing close by to Armory, but yeah, I mean, it's been a kind of struggle, I guess, in the opening 3 rounds as well. He wasn't really able to get, well, no kills. Did get some damage, but not really having the same effect to say what we saw from Quixie, who's now actually onto the Montang.
Yeah, I mean, they're bringing the Monty now. I thought they were also going to bring the Nomad, but they fell off it. So that would have suggested an Archives kit, although the South spawn means that we'll probably see the Montang used for top east.
Just wonder if maybe that's something Sage can play off of, get a little bit of confidence playing behind the shield. If it does eventuate in that direction, of course, you can break down those barricades far easier, far quicker now with the shields. Certainly not a do or die, though, for Save to, well, pop off, but well, in any of these kind of important matches, you want all 5 players playing well. So far, the concern for me, if I'm Odium, is the fact that Karma's 3-1. Hard to track down, hard to hunt down. He's playing and positioning really well so far in this game. Not getting over-aggressive. Hard stuck on that Melusi. Has not changed off it. Gumine was spotted out and pinged out, and Bappin with a big kill onto Reelers. Well, Bappin's playing well. Maybe making up for Saved having a bit of a quiet start. He's 5-2 and giving Odium yet another round in which they've got the opening kill. Didn't get in the third, but first, second, and fourth, a good track record.
Yeah, top fragging. That was his first entry duel though, and successful. So good work, presence of mind. That angle can be used by the defense, but equally by the attack. Quixie to go deep. Response though from River, immediately traded though. Shot now.
Good round.
In the 1 versus 4. Much better from Odium, and it's going to be another entry conversion.
I'm liking this back and forth right now. Bodes well probably for the whole best-of-3 series for these two teams respectively. You're in a position now where we're seeing, okay, round 1, it goes this way, round 2, and it is that true back and forth nature, dominance. The last round that we had there in the third round for Panic, yeah, maybe not as clean and dominant as this, but by and large, they were superior. This is interesting from Sean. That's one, doesn't get the second though. Could he have triggered discipline that a little bit better? Yeah, maybe. The idea was there, execution just slightly off, and it is a round win for Odium, and I mean, he was always going to be outnumbered anyway. Had he even got that double kill, it was still going to be a 1-on-2 position known. 2-2 though. 4 rounds into this opening half of this best-of-3 series, and Bappin opened the way.
Yeah, good sharp kill. Very much aware of that line of sight, able to land it, good shot. As mentioned, Bappin top fragging currently, but that was his first entry duel. And that is now, again, 4 rounds in a row where the entry conversion has been achieved. So that first fight in every single round thus far has been so critical. We're seeing those advantages snowball quite quickly for these teams, such as the nature of Border. And as mentioned by you, it means that we're, in for a very close match. Map 1 very competitive thus far.
Yeah, it's been good to watch. Two teams that I think have had a very good stage, had good moments, as mentioned on the desk. The only two teams that have been able to push Bliss the distance, and by distance I mean overtime. Fortunately, both of them unable to actually get the win, but they have been the closest thus far. Fully expect this to really go all of the way, but it's always the better feeling if you're the team that at least gets the opening map. Takes the pressure off a little bit. You can't get 2-0'd. Worst case, it goes to the third.
For reference as well, Border played 3 times so far this stage, 48% to defense. And so very close so far. Being Odium's pick though, I think they need to show why they've selected this map. 4-2 lead, pretty important for their confidence, I think.
Quixie being a bit of a nuisance on the Montaigne. Once again pushing towards top east stairs. Smart from Reelers. Opens up the vert, makes it difficult for the Montaigne to push through. If he just continues to walk by and pays no mind to the player down below, he'll lose his life. And Reelers does fall off of it though, maybe sensing some pressure. Back over to Talus here on the bathroom site, round 5. Okay, Claw in effect.
Yeah, first time we've seen Kaid in this game so far. Just being used to stall out this detention position. Impact EMP though, so good response. Kaid juggle though. Shouldn't land on the first Selma, but does.
Beautiful,
so well timed. Really well timed there by River. Small window of opportunity to land that. I suppose off the back of the recent ace nerf as well, just alleviated that pressure a little bit onto the Kaid. Good work there from River. Quixie getting ground now over towards top east. Shont will be hearing those footsteps behind him. Does have the hatch open to fall off. If he can get out though.
Oh, the vault over with the melee into the shot, and Quixie outplays Shont. And now can push forward into Fountain. Karma falls off. Can heal up. And will do so on the dock. But it's 5-4, and yet another round in which Odium have got an opening kill. 4 out of 5 rounds is quite significant. And no shot, no Azami, no keeper barriers for the remainder of this 5th round, and a lot of presence towards waiting in lobby now for Odium, starting to just build up the pressures on Panic.
Yeah, I mean, they're the ones that have to subvert expectation. They're not in great positions. I think the plan on the single wall is the right option here for Odium, and that's what they're prepping for. President with that diffuser in hand and can start going for the plan. I mean, unless there's pressure above them, but I don't think there is, so they should be fine to start planning it here, yeah.
I imagine President was just more so waiting to see if there was going to be a response from Panic initially, but that plan does go down successfully. It's a retake scenario. Panic did have a bit of hurt up above, but not in a position to deny. Saved actually over towards Break, could go for a flank. President does lose his life trying to get out of sight. Owen is actually, though, dead And one spotted for saved. He should be on for at least one here. Knows there is a player in that position. Gets the kill on Takama. And it's only Reelers remaining. The solo. Could hit that shot, and then the pistol up close from Quixie inside a bathroom, and Odium will find themselves a third round. 2 in a row. A very decent attacking half here on border.
I mean, that was just a really clean attack. I'd probably go as far as to say that was the cleanest that we've seen so far. Really good utilization of the Monty to get control top east. Quixie then, with relative confidence, pushes into office, gets that first pick, and despite that being the slowest opening kill in the match at a minute 31, they still have plenty of opportunities to get that plant down. President immediately responds, opening single wall. We saw the OCE Talon shield to hold the bathroom denial opportunity. Retaking that was pretty much impossible.
Attackers need to locate
It's really clean attacking pattern there from Odium, who on their pick will want to jump ahead of that benchmark of a 3-3 half by leading 4-2. That opportunity now open for them.
bomb located by attackers.
We'll see how Panic are able to formulate a response in this round, because they are keeping pace, relatively speaking. But it does feel like this next round is quite important.
Yeah, it certainly is. I think also to give context, now Odium's map pick, and as discussed by the desk, this was the map in which they played Team Bliss. They did well. They pushed them to overtime, but they actually didn't do well in the attack. They only got 1 attacking round. So they actually had a 5-1 defensive half against Team Bliss, right? Easy to get the gears turning, but in that moment you think, well, how are they going to then go against Panic in this next half on the defense? If they were able to get 5 defensive rounds against Team Bliss on this map, it doesn't bode well for Panic, who are going to need to break down said defense that Bliss couldn't even break down. So that's the concern for me. Big round coming up here in the 6th to try and alleviate as much of that pressure into the second half of Panic. Otherwise, Odium are looking in a really solid position to take the opening map of this best of 3 quarterfinal. Long way still to go, yes, but yeah, they're in the best position.
So Clutch Drones again getting to work. Bappin will be, I presume, spotting out information eventually with his scanner as well. We've seen that combination be quite fruitful for the attack, namely in dealing with the Valkyrie, but the Valk not brought for this particular round. River continues to flex around and this time finds himself on the Azami. So triple wall top east opened up from Quixie, who's been having a good game so far, +2 entry, and could be another key stakeholder in the round for unlocking things here for Odium. Every single round, all 5. The entry has been converted. Saved finally finds success on his entry, and that bodes very well for Odium.
Yeah, 5 out of 6 rounds. What a half from Odium. To get 5 opening kills. Yes, it's border. Saved in the second. Yeah, slow start, but a return for saved. And a very swift one as well, and suddenly it's been a very solid team performance from Odium on the attack of border. Kill back for Reelers was, well, honestly required at that point. Oh, and watching right side, but on the left was President. Even himself has now got to 4. There's a double kill for President. Nice kill from River towards 90 into Fountain, but Dirty then to get the last kill. Teabag to follow, and it's a 4-2 half to Odium on their map pick of border. Seemingly in control. Now onto the defense, where they know full well they are favored.
Yep, a 4-2 half in round split and a 4-2 split on entry as well. All 6 rounds converted by the team that wins that opening duel. We talked about it on the desk. There were concerns for Odium, given that their entry stat has been quite poor compared to the rest of the league. However, on border at the moment, looking very comfortable, at least on attack. We'll see if they can transition that across to defense and see if Panic can keep pace. As we look back at the round, yeah, clean shot there from Saved. That was his first successful entry in the match after a bit of a slow start, but able to redeem it there. And not in any of the 6 rounds so far has the team trailing in man count looked anywhere near close to bring the round back. That's just how dominant the snowball nature of this map can be, and a testament to both teams actually playing well off that entry.
It feels like these 1 to 2 rounds to come will set the tone for Panic. Start well, pinch a couple of attacking rounds, and suddenly could really set the tone for the remainder of this half that they will be more than strong enough on their own attack. Otherwise, if Odium get out to that kind of 5-2, 6-2 territory, well, it might just be shut up shop and will send us to Chalet for what would be the map pick of Panic, in which they were able to take Bliss to overtime.
Bomb located by attackers.
But the beauty of a best of 3 is that you don't have to stress too much in this moment if you are Panic. It's not do or die, it's not a best of 1. But it doesn't cost much to buckle down and give it your all now on the attack of Border.
This is a pretty aggressive hold from the defense. We have these Azama barricades. President, I presume, wants to post top east eventually as well on the Warden, so it'll be a challenge to flash him out of that position. It's a little bit of an unorthodox interpretation. Sometimes we see the castle brought out for this hallway, but instead the Azami, which just frees up the defense to actually hold inside of this hallway. And it works.
Good
wow.
shot, Prez.
First entry battle for Prez in the match. It's a success. And we'll see if that stat line continues. Odium in the box seat to convert this round. Panic haven't found much in response off the back of that.
And 4 deaths in a row now for Karma. Started 3-1, now 3-5. Hasn't really been able to get going. And with that, no surprise that Panic Esports are starting to just flounder. Another opening kill for Odium. Now even onto the defense, as you said. Really solid setup. They just look far more controlled here on Border than what we're seeing right now for Panic. Quixer will double down. Sean can't get involved either on the buck entry. Smoke goes out. And River's been good. Big kill, needed that, keeps the round alive in terms of hope. Owen actually just top waiting with the kit, up close. President still in a really good position. River losing his life, saved, and there's the trade as well over towards top east. There's Owen, finally on the board. No longer an Owen. And suddenly the round is actually, very, not favorable, but certainly winnable. Possible for Panic.
Yeah, I mean, winnable. I mean, we haven't seen any team lose the entry and then look like they're in a position where they could go on to convert. President got unlucky timing there, top east. Smoke's deployed, actually allows Bappin now to cross over towards Fountain. This shield from Dirty, really key power position.
He's
2 magnets covering, and he has full info.
Not a lot of time either, and with great information here, Bappin can hold the angle, push in from Fountain. I think he just heard him down the hallway. He's one at 90, over flick, but he was able to correct it and gets the kill onto Reelers. And they know exactly that Owen is outside of the balcony. Top shot from Dirty. Reposition is perfect. Odium take a 5-2 lead, dominating here on Border.
Yeah, it started to look a little bit dicey there towards the midpoint of that round. We did see Panic eventually unlock that top east position, brought it back to the 2 versus 2, but so much utility still stood in their way inside, things like that deployable shield. And the magnets meant that it was challenging to find a way in towards Archives for that win condition. I mean, there was maybe an opportunity that 90 fight could have gone the way of Panic, but ultimately it does not. So for Panic, they need to correct course quickly here. Really sharp entry there. President not contested properly by the attack. Able to hold that, I would say, off-meta position, as we don't typically see that played. I think Panic just struggled to formulate a response. Reelers had to win that fight, 90. Fortunately, wasn't anticipating that. Left Owen on an island. With the barricade standing, he wasn't winning that.
Well, I think right now it speaks volumes for Odium that every single player on their team has got 5 kills minimum. Every single one. For Panic, it's only 2 players. That is a stark contrast that is quite worrisome for Panic Esports.
I mean, it's also consistency, right? I'm looking at the cost numbers here. Quixie Dirty, 88%. The highest for Panic is 75. So that's River. And you've got your likes of Karma, for instance, sitting at 50%. You mentioned before, last few rounds have been unfavorable for him. And if it is going to be another case of Karma Esports, he needs to be stepping up here.
It's not often that we've seen Panic do well if Karma doesn't. That's the concern. That was always going to be the concern heading into the playoffs. It's a trope I'm sure they're sick of hearing, but one that will be reminded time and time again until proven otherwise. I mean, in fairness, when we had Sean on the interview, he himself said that they tried to activate for him and set him up to just go frag. Entry towards detention, opened up for Karma. This is where he's just got to remain aggressive. Okay, first floor has been droned out pretty extensively. Makes his way in towards customs. He's got to start finding kills. I know it's a lot to say for one particular player, but when you are the player that has performed at the very top level this stage, yeah, there is an onus of expectation.
I mean, there's a lot of space horizontally here. It could be a world in which Karma tries to creep forward and isolate that lesion. Heavy extension on the top floor from Odium. Not really feeding in to these battles on the fringe of the map yet. I think Panic are going to look to go Armory
That
across.
says everything, though. You got 4 players still outside, only 1 player in the building, and it's Karma. They're not playing off as each other as a team. It's like, Karma, go do your thing, and then we'll try and go top floor. And I kind of get that as an approach, especially if Karma can continue to lurk around, put some pressure on, you know, clear out these kind of proxy alarms, find where these positions are maybe being held based on vert angles, but I'd like to just see a little bit more backup play. Karma's going solo top metal. Who even would be able to trade him right now? No one. So there's a lot of emphasis on him just hitting his shots and honestly winning the entry. If he loses it, they're going to lose him and no trade.
I mean, they have one on an island now inside of Armory, but I don't know if anyone's outside Breach to actually capitalize upon this. Karma can't really send it forward because he knows it's not a favorable fight.
Oh, what a shot from Saved! Yeah. And another fight lost for Karma, unfortunately, trying to do it all, but he's doing nothing. Quixie with the second one as well. It's all falling apart on border right now for Panic Esports. Sean, though, big kill onto Dirty, timely, with 45 seconds left. In the 3-on-4, Panic need to pull off a round upset from behind. Otherwise, it's going to be 6-2. And another big kill from Sean. Okay, 30 seconds left to make the magic happen. Quixie, though, once again from the hatchery, gets the kill onto Owen, and then Bappin elsewhere, who's been so influential. Gets the double, makes it 9 kills with Bappin alone, and it's 6-2, 4 match points, 4 map points here for Odium.
Yeah, good defense from Odium, a couple of fundamental flaws from Panic. They had an opportunity to isolate Armory, no one outside the breach. So we did see Dirty on the castle, just pretty simply comm that to Save to hold his cross. Saved wins that favorable fight, shutting down Karma. We then never saw Fountain get opened up. We never really saw the hallway get contested at all from the attack. Odium were given plenty of playmaking opportunities. Panic then rotating down below, but the hatch is open. Despite Panic losing, or pardon me, winning the initial fight up through the hatch, inevitably it was to their downfall. So, Odium once again, continuing that trend of the opening duel, now with 4 map points.
Very impressive performance right now from Odium. The question will be for them, the application of this performance then onto Chalet to come after this. A reminder for those just tuning in here, the Oceania League playoffs. This is a best of 3 opening map pick as well of Odium. 6-2 though, incredibly dominant. And a lot of concerns right now for Panic, but maybe a map in which they maybe didn't put too much stock into. You can somewhat do that in a best of 3. Wouldn't advise it, but the beauty of it, it's not a best of 1. It's not do or die here on this one singular map. They will have their own map to go to, Chalet, in which they performed very well against Team Bliss not that long ago. And so I think they still should hold some confidence. The series is not going to be over with this game.
No, it certainly won't be. Chalet map 2, Oregon potential decider. So we do have 2 quite fluid maps to open things up. The decider being far more structured than Border and Chalet. I mean, in some respects, that might bode poorly for Panic, though, if Odium employ a similar playstyle and their entry continues to be strong and the snowball is in effect. Eyes back again on Karma, 3 and 6. 44% cost. So he's actually being ineffective in more rounds than he's having impact at the moment.
Win. Break. Yep, good.
Good position though inside of box. Just hold the line. If anyone oversteps from Odium, he could get a kill. That was very risky from Quixie, but gets away with it.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Karma. I mean, he's not having the game he would like, but he's still trying to get himself into these positions. I rate it, especially when you've died 5 from 5 in your last 5 attempts. Still going for these kind of plays. Losing it out once again, though. Quixie with the initial shots. TMR is strong. Karma's now very low. And when you get to this kind of health point as well, 90 seconds left in the round, it makes it even more challenging as to how aggressive you want to be when you push into these positions, when you're trying to clear angles, and you know full well you're like 1 bullet away from death. It's a tricky position for Karma to be in.
This army has just been so effective for Odium. We've seen it 2 rounds now. Continues to produce these favorable angles for the defense. Karma, though, will push through. Catches Quixie off guard. Could this be an opportunity for Panic to start this little comeback? We'll see. 60 seconds on the clock. Control elsewhere through break as well. Odium falling off.
Yeah, it's the best they've looked so far in this half. A bit of vert control, they get an opening kill, so they get a numbers advantage. Not a lot of time, sure, that's probably not on their side, but I like their positioning. The question will be now for Odium, where's that flank potential? Is it someone like Saved in officers? He gets droned out. He's kind of got two options here. I mean, he's a little bit stuck as well. Saved could go for a drop. I think his best play would be to just hold. Gemini takes out the arena. Sorry, okay, over towards the hallway. Ooh. Honestly, don't know how Saved has survived this. Expecting the double push, it does come through. Nicely timed at the same point of attack. They were able to win that pretty easily. Saved wasn't able to do a whole lot. And suddenly Dirty, the only one in a really good playable area towards bot metal. He could think about pushing up this location. I would imagine there's an air jab in the way, though. And Quixie's just got the kill onto Owen with a Soyage. Bappin finds 2 kills. The round has just suddenly fallen apart, and the round is now suddenly over. As is the map, and Odium make it 7-2 to begin this quarterfinal matchup. Utter dominance. Clean as you like, and now 1 map away from a semi-final appearance.
I mean, it took 9 rounds for that entry to not be converted. And of course, it is that map point round. Odium dominant there, able to reverse the storyline in that particular round. Good work on Border overall. I felt like Panic were really in that game. To kick things off, I'm sitting here first half, I'm like, that's not too bad for Panic. It's not their map pick. But then it slipped away. Attack was certainly not their strength in this matchup.
What a tremendous performance from Odium, 7-2. An absolute delight to watch. They were offensive, they were aggressive, and they were dominant here on their map pick of Border. That's the opening map of the quarterfinal concluded. We go to a short break. When we come back, though, it will be a chance at redemption for Panic Esports on their map pick of Chalet. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Heading into the second map of this best of 3 quarterfinal. It is Odium that has taken the first on border 7-2. Incredibly dominant. Really left no stone unturned on that particular map. Now, though, we turn over to Chalet. Maybe turning over a new leaf for Panic, as, of course, this is their map pick in which they, well, one, picked for this series, but also sent Bliss to overtime not that long ago. There should be a high level of confidence that they can turn over a new leaf on this for this particular series and send us to what would be then a third map and a decisive one.
Yeah, things got a little bit out of hand for Panic over on border, and unfortunately their attacks fell short of the mark. 3 in a row going the way of Odium to close out border, and they'll now start attack here on Chalet. So intrigued to see how this plays out in terms of key players to keep an eye on for this second map. Hard to look past Bappen over in that first map. Went 13 and 3. Couple of multi kills for him throughout that.
Oh, he just hit the gritty.
Oh, who?
Bappen. He's gone.
Huh.
It's not the first time I've seen his face as well. He looks about 14 with a mustache.
Maybe you got a bit shy because I was talking about it.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, I've cursed him now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, interesting first game. I think it was I know towards the end, Bappen certainly had put up the numbers individually, but as a collective team, it was really Odium that at no point looked like they were shying away from the early contact.
Did he spill something on his mouse pad? He showed it up. It looked like it had a stain on it. Maybe he's actually like genuinely spilled something on his mouse pad. I've actually cursed him.
Do we need a tech pause?
I don't know how.
No, well, he just gave us a thumbs up.
How do you dry it? I mean, you just gotta.
Maybe it's like a spare mouse pad. Maybe he's done a little pit stop.
Change his tires.
Look how young he looks, bro. He looks like he's 13. Like with a mustache. Look. He's got the babiest face I've ever seen.
Hey, he's deadly inside the server.
No wonder he's pumping iron to try and get the bicep strong. Tell you what, makes me feel old.
Oh, you are old.
Oh, I am. Anyway, let's head into the second map here. Odium 1-0 up in the series. Panic looking to get themselves back into this series. What are your thoughts? Are you off the Panic bandwagon after that 7-2 demolition job of Border, or do you kind of just pay no mind? It's the opening map. It was Odium's pick. Now heading to Chalet, you kind of still got the confidence in Panic to get the job done here?
I'm concerned that their attacks didn't look amazing, and then you snowball that into map number 2 where they're going to be starting on attack. It does, seed some concern in my mind. But there were positive takeaways from them as well. I think they started off quite nicely. Defensively, not too bad. Got a couple of rounds. They should be more comfortable here on their pick. Again, big thing to keep an eye on, though, is going to be that entry number. There's one round of the 9 where the entry was not converted. 8 of 9, you win the opening duel, you win the round, and they got snowballed pretty confidently. Not once outside of the last round were we like, maybe the other team could bring this back. They were always dominant wins.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, I agree. Maybe there was like 1 or 2 towards the second half.
Grasping at straws there.
But yeah, that's the thing. There was a couple of 2v2s, but Odium always looked confident and comfortable. Now on to the defense of Chalet here on the second map. Again, a reminder for those watching, we don't typically get a lot of best of 3s in the Oceania League. First time ever that we've had playoffs that lead to a major. Best of 3s that lead to a major. Observation blocker being used as well over towards Library's test. Saved. Almost, I think he did actually get down at one point and then was able to heal quickly. Karma, though, does get the kill anyway from down below in Barstock. Nice entry and a good start to this round and to this map for Panic. We were just speaking about opening kills and the significance and importance on Border. Well, there's one to begin for Panic. President getting pressured towards Mez. He's got to be careful now. Of course, that hole in the floor goes for the swing. Aggressive, and Realiz will punish him.
Yeah, bit of an ill-advised swing there from Prez, who was given a bit of a lifeline. The grenade dislodged him, yet he didn't die. Then tried to find something back, eventually falls. So good work there from Panic, really clean clear. The use of the buck down below was absolutely spot on and saved, unable to find value from that rat corner inside of Library. Owen does his job with hard breach, diffuser in hand. The assumption now will be that Panic will prepare for a half-wall plant. They still have 2 hive launchers available, so they can space out a couple of positions. It's just about ensuring they don't give away anything cheaply here in the final part of this attack.
Yeah, I don't need a rush either. In a really good position. Wouldn't take them that long to get in towards half-wall and get that plant down, so you've got 60 seconds. You can use probably up to 40 seconds of this timer.
Ooh.
It's a little bit of a nuisance there for Dirty. Karma actually finding a kill onto Bappen at that same moment. So down to 2 now for Odium, really outnumbered. Just don't have the guns available. Quixie not really in a good position to deny. And Dirty, who's got the Nitrocell, really can't get involved now. As much as he would like to, goes for it. Not sure how successful that will be. Well, it does get a kill onto Karma. Does spot one outside on Jigsaw Belk, but losing his life. Overswing, River holding a good position. Quixie now looking for an answer. And a 1 versus 2 after getting that kill onto Owen. 30 seconds left. Very low on health. Does have some idea as to where these 2 are. Basically needs to just start running around though. Gun up, one out in the balcony. No, none there now. Check that hallway. Peek. No one's holding top Library. Left side of the mezzanine. Should get the information off of that Quan Hive launcher. But River also just sending a warning as to what's to come on the other side of this hallway position. And a really solid start from Panic Esports. The kind of round we didn't really see from them on border.
Yeah, really good start to the round there from Panic. Again, that buck clear down below from Karma was clean. Odium elected not to invest anybody to lurk down below in games or bar stock. That was droned well by Panic. They knew it was clear. And then able to clear the dock with ease. That immediately put President under a lot of pressure. You couldn't take really much with him to the grave either. Didn't find anything in that previous round. From that point onwards, pretty standard push from Panic. Good utilization of the Grim. Odium couldn't invest the solos down below for plant denial. Nitro as well. Didn't get impact from Dirty. So good work there from Panic. Just to settle the nerves a little bit in this series.
Yeah, so Dev, by the way, has done a wonderful job fact-checking for me. I made a comment in the halftime break about whether or not Karma has ever actually performed poorly, but Panic have then gone on to win a game. And he's gone and had a quick little look through. So Karma has never actually gone negative in a match that Panic have won. So, I mean, that kind of speaks volumes, I think, for the roster. He did also make a note that the worst performance that he's actually had this stage was against Odium. And even that was a 1.1 rating. He went 11-11 on the KDs. Had a very good KPR of 0.92 still in that particular match. But his survival rate was actually only just 8%. Something to kind of keep in mind, though. It's plain and simple. If Karma goes negative, Panic are going to lose the game.
Well, he's positive at the moment, so that's a positive for Panic. And with that buck on entry, does also mean he can get value through the mid-round with the Skeleton Key, and on a site like Basement, vertical pressure can be really important at times, depending on what you want to dislodge, and with the mirror in play, also critical in contesting that. On the topic of contesting that mirror, President takes some damage in through dining, I believe, but Karma elects not to push deep. Instead, drone down Fireplace, another mirror window spotted. There is a roam in play. A drone to the right of Bappen. Has he been spotted, though? Owen needs to look to his left if he hasn't already. Saved also above.
The question is, are Panic are aware as to this hold up above, top floor, second floor? Bappen is saved.
I mean, Shont is playing so passive in Library.
Nitrocell thrown towards Fireplace there, so off the back of that yellow ping information. Save gets the kill onto Karma. Nice trade though from Library. Shont though, position now known. You got Bappen close by. Okay, doesn't win the fight. Shont up close with a super shorty, and a good pinch with Reelers. That was really well worked from Panic. So they actually deal with that room up above. Dirty could never really get involved holding bot Library. President low, has to sit site, same with Quixie. Quixie actually lost his life on site. River finds an ankle from the vert. The mirror wall can be 100% avoided. The Alpo was spotted, but Dirty still gets the kill onto Reelers. I thought just momentarily that his position was maybe not going to be the best. And Panic could have been on for a 1 versus 4. Dirty can fall back to blue, help out on site. Not a lot of time remaining, and 2 Nitro cells still available for Odium.
Yeah, double Nitro makes this tough now.
President breach
in an off-meta position, but spotted by Sean.
There's the drone as well that comes through. President had to deal with that. Nitro cell just desperately thrown out. Hits nothing. Delays maybe a little bit. Smoke. President wants to slip into that. Next to the bomb chassis. Where's the Nitro cell from Dirty? It's not forthcoming. Just a random spray. There is the Nitro cell. Throw. It's a team kill, but it denies the plant. Might just be worth it with only 10 seconds left. But an immediate pickup from River. Into the beast. No, doesn't get pinged. Red ping. Close left. Needs to win this fight. He cannot. Sean will win it out for Panic. What an explosive round, and Panic make it 2-0 here on Chalet to start.
Yeah, that was a real nail-biter. Arguably the closest round that we've seen in the series so far. President did not get value from the Nitro, and then inside of that smoke, tries to spray the default position. Would have loved to have seen it from his POV. I don't know how he hasn't been able to find that. Ultimately, then, the Nitro had to be ripped for the plant to be denied, and because it was so close, he falls. Backtracking to the early round, it was clean from Panic, clearing a lot of those positions. President here, he sprays right here. He doesn't get the kill. Pulls out the shotgun to then try and find it, but Dirty takes him to the grave. difficult to be critical of him there because obviously you really want to get that plant denied. Otherwise, you can just backtrack in towards Fireplace as the attack.
Yeah, no,
So
it is. It is. It's very tricky in the moment.
President just had to land his shots.
There is the hindsight that is, had they communicated a little earlier and a little better, that we don't see President in that exact position. Maybe just falls back a little bit further away from the smoke, away from default. That allows then the Nitrocell to come through. But maybe there wasn't quite that trust. And maybe because he's basically sitting inside of the smoke anyway himself, he's not quite sure what's behind him. Yep. So either way, it's a great start for Panic. 2 attacking rounds here to begin on Chalet. Now, their game against Bliss was that very much back and forth. It was 3-3 halves. So they weren't that sort of ultra-dominant. Whereas Odium, of course, I mentioned earlier on Border, they had 5 defensive rounds on Border against Bliss. Panic didn't have anything like that. They were just really hotly contested rounds. Panic themselves honestly could have actually beaten Bliss almost in regulation on this particular map. So they are a threat. And I said to you as this game had just begun, I said, are you off the Panic bandwagon after what we saw on Border? Well, they've responded really in the best way possible.
Yep. Definitely restored my faith a little bit in the underdog of this match.
Are they the underdog? There's more people that predicted them than didn't predict them, so I don't know.
Well, I picked them as an underdog.
Dirty with the opening kill on to Owen. That's 0-3 for Owen. No pun intended. Another opening kill for Odium, but unable to so far capitalize in that previous round. We'll see if they can go one better here in the third round. So far, defense has looked a little shaky. Yellow ping for Karma. Should be a pretty free kill here onto the Mozzie of Saved, and he has no response. Shot elsewhere too. Able to find a kill outside of the balcony of Bathroom. Once again, Panic, same as the second round. Lose one early, but the response is swift, it's clean, and it gets them the numbers advantage. 4 versus 3. And once again, Odium on the back foot.
Well, then midway point of the round, as we take stock, Panic have grinded the advantage. Can Bappen disrupt? He reclaims the space, forfeited by Saved, but Karma is aware again. Drone information available, but still loses the fight. Bappen, good for 2, and flips the round back in favor of Odium.
Yeah, massive round from Bappen with a double kill there. He's now got 3. He was so influential on Border and suddenly shot now the solo. Still's got 60 seconds. Quicks is low, certainly doable. Default shot out, but too late. Been spotted towards solo, and Quicks on the drop. Just gets the kill before going down. Now, okay, big round from Odium. Needed that because it was starting to look a little shaky. I started to have some concerns. You know, 0-2 down, 3-4 down in the round, but they bring it back. Big power play from Bappen. And it gets them on the board for their first defensive round win.
Well, that puts the mousepad storyline to bed. I think he's looking comfy. Karma off the back of that info aggresses, but Bappen baited him in. Able to then quickly run out Trench, gets the second kill. In doing so, flips the round. Clean conversion from Odium in the end. Looking better there in the third round, and critically just puts the rotation of 3 rounds straight. That storyline to bed for the attacks. Never a good position to find yourself in as a defending team. So good work there from Odium.
And the more rounds that Odium can get just puts more and more pressure then on to Panic. Odium already 1-0 up here in this quarterfinal, best of 3. Less pressure for them. It's been a very turbulent end to the stage for Panic. If you think about yesterday, they weren't quite sure whether or not they were even going to play playoffs until the very final game of the group stage. Reliant on man LFO to beat 6 targets, and they did. Much to the chagrin of Panic. Must make this opportunity count, and well, so far it's been rough. Border was completely one-sided. Panic have been better on Chalet, but around now to Odium, and with that can come confidence. The good news, though, for Panic so far on Chalet is, again, they're not looking reliant on Karma. Yeah, he's 3-3, but yeah, shots played well. Realers, River's been really good. No one's not expected. He's the hard support. That's fine. So a good team effort right now from Panic.
Ooh,
that's a nice little cheeky drone as well from Realers. And Quixie just not paying enough attention, and that mirror window does get opened up into bar stock, and that's really solid for the attack. Owen towards Snow.
Yeah, opening line of sight down below, as we can see, it is being contested by defense. Back to that Twitch, though. First time we've seen it in the match. Round prior, Reel's playing the Brava, but this time responds to the mirror really nicely. Shot on the Capital. First time we'll see that operator for Panic in the half as well. He's gaining good information. And I'm fairly certain that Panic know there was, or maybe still is, 2 defenders roaming down below. And those defenders trying to counter the Mav into backstock. Karma vaults into sight, but quickly back out. They know that Mirror Stronghold makes this a challenge, even with it popped. So we'll see how Panic look to clear out this position. They still have half the round to go, 10 players up.
Yeah, I mean, they've done such a wonderful job of putting pressure in towards Barstock. Makes it very difficult to hold this location, and Quixie eventually loses his life.
Oh.
Battle towards Shelf down below in basement. I mean, the fact that there's a lot of bodies and a lot of numbers here on a Barcame site down in basement is concerning for me. Panic could hit site here. They can get certainly a lot of vert control. Karma still inside of mud, hasn't pushed off of this. Owen watching towards Barstock. The hole gets blocked off, though, by that keeper barrier and allows this reposition. Incredibly well done from President. It has that yellow ping information to almost get himself a second. The smoke, and he just slips into it. Bappin finds the kill onto Owen. He was yellow pinged out. There's a head spawning a big window. Vulcan canister explodes. 35 seconds left. Up above goes River. And a kit that so far needs to be reacquired in this round. Reelers and River must get moving quickly. Default, shot out. 20 seconds, and they know exactly where the push is coming from. Holds on that bar doorway. Another one on the other end of the hallway. It's saved with his 2 kills in the round. Reelers was hoping and praying that River could get that kit and get back to site. But a wonderful play from President to retake this bar stock position, which was heavily hit from Panic. Big round from him, big round from Odium.
Yeah, it was a good clear down below initially from Panic. They got value in towards backstore with the Mav line of sight. Odium then had to forfeit it and get back towards the objective, and they just weren't caught in the act. Karma in Mudroom had a potential opportunity to kill Saved as he aggressed back up Library Stairs. Ultimately, though, Saved wins that fight. Then we saw Shont on the objective, squirming behind half-wall prone. He got timed. Both of those fights were key in the round, neither going the way of Panic. As a result, Odium win the round and now tie the scoreline once more as we go back to basement.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really solid round from Odium. First 2 rounds were very clinical from Panic. Odium has responded themselves. Down to basement we actually go now for the site. It was a lot of bodies down there in the last round, despite bar games. I imagine Odium will once again play on a vert roam.
10 seconds left.
To really no surprise at all. Last time we were here, though, it was, of course, that team kill, Nitrocell play. Scrappy end to the round that went the way of Panic Esports, just barely by the narrow margins that it was. Saved towards Trophy, maybe just thinks better of it. And that's one thing we haven't really seen from Odium so far. Ultra-aggressive spawn peeking. Understanding full well they can play within the building. They don't have to get too crazy. I say that, Bappin's just peeking out Piano, but it's a more relatively safe spawn peek than, say, more aggressive one inside a library. Drone goes out, Bappin spotted. Entry for River, tries to maybe catch him on the outpush towards Piano. And it's a pretty swift entry for River to get Mezzanine already and just start the sweep across second floor, clear out these roamers.
Yeah, he could elect to just post up now. Bappin and Save probably aren't going to be too keen to retake this position, at least not yet. They'll wait for maybe some pressure elsewhere. Oh, Quixie goes lurking, though,
River.
and catches him from behind.
I mean, it's Snow Wine. You've got to be careful of fireplace stairs unless you've got someone watching it or there's some kind of flank. Karma got one, traded
trade.
immediately, maybe not anticipating a third member of Odium.
Oh, Reeler should be on for one here. Saved has no idea, surely. Maybe he heard him, actually.
Just backs off into box. President's actually coming in for a push towards Trophy. I think they're going for a pinch. They must have some kind of clue that Reelers is inside of Solar. Reelers is going to be so careful here. Frag gets thrown in. They clear out box. Nicely done from Shot. Where did President go?
Oh, well, he got forced back. He
got forced back.
Yeah, there was a nade. So that was actually really well played by Reelers, who then got support.
Huge moment in that round right there.
That was insane. That was actually really good siege from both teams, to be honest.
3 versus 3. Just over a minute left, and it's anyone's round here in the 5th round.
So defense falls back then. 3 versus 3. President to go main garage. 5 drones still remain for Panic, but I doubt they'll send one this way.
Late round on an anticipated wine push, especially if they've cleared Solar. Oh, he has been droned out though.
Attackers have located
One just kind of sitting in there, and it was active. Owen to open up hatch here towards main lobby. 50 seconds, still a decent amount of time. Panic have done well.
Oh,
Kind of get to where they've gotten to.
2-brow stall.
And yeah, stall out. One more Zoda canister after this too, so that will delay quite a large portion of this hatch from being opened up.
Trying to get the Kaid Claw off the main breach, although that's proving to be a challenge.
Oh, big damage onto Sean. Main breach finally opened up.
No.
No?
No.
No! I heard an explosion and honestly just kind of thought that would be the case, but once again, the second time now on Snow Wine that Panic have been unable to get main breach open. They've got a little bit more pressure there from above. Dropped down from Sean into storage. Already though, Dirty gets a kill. Swift one at that, pushing in from Wine, from President. Nicely done. Sean had no idea. Pistol comes out. Not going to be enough. 3 in a row for Odium.
Yeah, that was rough there. The final attack with the smokes they had, one of which clearly they didn't land in towards blue. I think they should have gotten a bit more value from that. I know that obviously not having Snowmobile open limited options and limited the pressure and meant that Odium only had to watch basically bot main and that hatch drop con. Exactly what they did. Util layering though from Panic left a little bit to be desired. I think they had the potential to maybe bring that back. As far as I was aware, no nitros left for plant denial, so it wouldn't have been a case of what we saw previously with Dirty maybe being able to land the Hail Mary late. Either way though, good work from Odium. A 3-2 lead.
Yeah, that was a really fun round. Both teams really giving it their all here in the quarterfinal. You lose this map though for Panic and your chance at Manchester's done. Your stage is over. That is what is on the line here. Elimination. Odium are placed in the semi-final and would be taking on Man LFO if they win this map of Chalet. Observation blockers over towards Library. ADSs towards the mezzanine. No mirror though. So no mirror into the Library position. Final round of this half. And it feels like a pivotal one for Panic. 3 rounds in a row for Odium. Needed that. Needed that. Opening kill on a spawn pick attempt. Saved, loses his life. And it gives Panic an opportunity.
Yeah, and with that saved, he'll be going negative again on entry 1 and 2. He's looking to get line of sight through those solar windows and loses his life as a result. So clean, sharp gameplay there from the attack. President, once again, mezzanine. Frequently holds this position. Single window vaulted in. President hears it. Double window as well. Control obtained. Thrown out. Confirmed.
Oh, he keeps holding. Oh, he keeps holding. He pulls out pistol.
He went
You
prone.
can spot him. You can spot him prone left. Drone behind. Oh, just completely overwhelmed. Certainly stuck on an island. It was always difficult to get out of that position and tried to hold down the fort until the final moments. But once he ran out of ammunition on the primary, it was always going to be a difficult task. They did find a kill at least onto Sean. Dirty taken very low though on the mute. Has got 1 nitrocell. It's really their biggest piece of utility remaining. Gem is still up on that office wall. Up towards Ego and Bappen. Probably has to play contact here. They cannot allow them to really get office control. Go for a plant. Smokes will be available from Owen on the thermite.
It's double stack down below defense.
I mean, I think they're just going to be playing off a nitrocell to maybe get them the win. He's low on health as well.
Yeah. So Quixie rotates off. Yeah, they want that nitro below. Impact EMPs mean that the wall will be opened up in a moment. It's pretty standard stuff from this point onwards for Panic. They do need to be mindful of that nitro though.
Looking to try and just keep pressure towards office. Quixie can still play piano. Another drone shot out. Still 4 remaining for Panic. Still 60 seconds. Still a lot of time. The largest win condition though for Odium now remains on that mute. That nitrocell of Dirty. To Panic eventually send someone down below? Well, the answer is no. It's just going to be a slip in towards piano from Karma. A little senseless. And now the plant from Owen. Dirty with the nitrocell thrown, but he got off. No, he's not planting in default. He's planting towards the bomb chassis. They had no idea. Beautifully executed from Panic. And now Odium need a response. Bappen can't win his. Quick C2 loses to Owen. 2 versus 2, now 1. Beautifully won in this round from Panic as Bappen, surely with very little to no chance. And Panic will even things up at the half. They do. An incredibly well-orchestrated round from Panic. Had they gone default, I think they very well would have lost that round.
Yeah, that's really well played by Owen. And without hearing the comms, no idea if that was his personal decision to go for the plant in that position or a call from somebody else on the team, but it was the right one. It meant that that big condition down below from the defense of Odium was put to bed. Did get a little bit scary there for a moment with the Karma Vol piano and a potential post-retake, but both defenders very, very low. So
I was so focused on that Karma Vault, I didn't even realize that Owen had gone deep into office and wasn't planting at the half wall.
I think it was aided by the laying of a smoke grenade from the attack, if I remember correctly, which maybe in hindsight, Odium could have read into that a little bit better and anticipated the deep plant, but difficult in the moment. So,
well, a 3-3 half, just like their match against Bliss for Panic. Similarities are striking, and now onto the defense. Where, for what it's worth, was also a 3-3 half, of course, in their previous match of this Chalet map against Bliss. Good indication as to maybe what could be to come. Odium now onto the attack, and they bring the Deimos.
Is this the Karma hunt? We saw it from Bliss last night.
Yeah.
Where I believe it was Sage continued to play the Deimos, and every single death mark went on Karma.
Yep.
Just to force him back to the objective.
And it worked. In fairness, though, Karma and the way that he played on border was largely objective-based. They do have to scan him as well, and the mute is there from Owen, so that can be used to deny the death mark. And if Karma's just going to be playing sight and is around those mute jammers, it certainly is a counter to this Deimos play. And the other part of the Deimos, too, is it means that Quix is going to be careful as to how he plays. We saw Sage actually just sitting on the roof and relaying the position of Karma.
Solace.
Now, you have to, of course, scan out Karma to even be able to deathmark. Right now, they actually go for shot instead. And a smart play onto a Solace who's going to be roaming around and running and looking to take out drones. It's nice to put pressure on him.
See if that aids in info gathering for the attack. Initial pressure through dining for the extension down below from defense. That's off the back of the Habana pellets coming from, I presume, front door in the hands of Prez. Karma lurking basement now. 0.5 library stairs. Has been targeted. Or Quixie's going to get this kill if he runs out of blue. But Shont knows he's there. Oh, he gets across.
Oh, the Souls peaks here.
There we go. Wow.
Such an easy kill. Really outworking the Deimos, then understanding full well where he was off of the initial ping. Onto Shont. Gave away position. You could see him kind of just staring towards Snow main breach. And they really planned, I think, a double push onto him. Double flush is thrown out from Bappen. Pulls out the skeleton, keep close. He should know there's gone prone now. Easy swing. No, and on the second will work, though. Once the initial swing did not work. 3 versus 3. President actually come for the plant. I mean, they do have good positions. Bappen in a great spot to get this kill. Realist had no idea. Despite the fact that he got that kill onto his teammate in Piano, Realist should have been a little bit more preemptive of that position being taken. One spot at the stairs. Karma's just standing still. Shont's now the solo. But he does get one very important kill. Needs 2 more to win this round for Panic. Otherwise, Odium retake the lead. Could go for the revive onto Karma and bring him back up, and will do so. President holding ego. Karma now alive. 1 impact available for Shont, and they can push together. Into half wall they can go. Bappen by himself can fall back to bathroom, spots them both, shoots them both, head towards half wall. Now 1 remaining. Shont low on health, and an easy swing for President surely. Shont goes for the peak, and he can't win it out. Prez holds strong. Teabag to follow, and Odium take the lead.
Very well played there by Odium. I really did think that Panic big brain, the Deimos counter down below. Shont and Karma working well together. But with those two so far away from the objective, President saw that as an opportunity to hit site. And once Owen was cleared in Piano, there's nothing that the defense could do to deny plant. And then based on that earlier fight with the Deimos, they knew there were 2 players then struggling down below to play retake. And they did a very good job in playing that post plant. So good work. Odium with an opportunistic attack. And Karma and Shont never find themselves back in playmaking positions.
Yeah, you know, look, there's going to be some that might say this league lacks quality. And when I say some, I'm calling him out directly. It's Fresh. Mr. Jack himself. Great man. Love him. But he does kind of continue to just shit on this league. That round in particular, and what we're seeing here in the quarterfinal from these two teams respectively, I think has been nothing short of great. A lot of the decision-making, the way they're playing these rounds, little things like the Deimos, mini-games that we're seeing from these two teams respectively, has been really enjoyable to watch. Outside of just being entertaining, I think these teams and these players have actually played this really, really well. 4-3, it's tense. You can feel that for Panic, maybe their chance of a semi-final appearance, a chance at the major slipping away. They're holding on. Digging deep, but Odium also now starting to get the sense that they're rising to the occasion, that this playoff match means more to them than any kind of proverbial seeding match in the group stage. They take the lead. Into the 8th round we now go, and Panic need a response pretty quickly. Karma is negative, 5 and 7. That's the storyline that we keep projecting onto Panic. They cannot be relying on him. Someone else needs to say, I'm going to take this moment and bring our team back into the light. Into the lead.
It's very motivational. Now, I saw this lineup, and initially my mind went, oh, they're probably going basement, but no. Down to dining, first floor. Odium have that execute util once they clear these positions. Oh, they have full info. Flash and kill.
Oh! Yeah, got the down. Oh.
I almost jumped the gun a bit.
I almost just thought for a split second that save might have allowed Shont to get back down through blue. Great opening kill for Odium. Not ideal at all for Panic that you lose the Solus that early on, that you lose a player immediately to begin your defense. You give up an opening kill, yet another one. It's been quite prevalent in this best of 3. Karma sensing that he probably wants to get aggressive, almost let the reins just get unleashed a little bit. Let him go and see what he can do. I think he's got to start getting himself into more flanking positions. Piano, good position to hold. Defending, office, you need to. On a kitchen and dining site, the vert is just so paramount. But I need to see Karma probably get more aggressive. It's do or die. Sends Glaz combo towards site can be incredibly effective if pulled off for Odium. That is the plan right now, and River on an island inside of Dining does have a little bit of help up above. Oh, and he goes for the shockwire battery juggle. Can he get this to land onto the exothermic?
No.
Well, no.
Yeah,
Quixie gets off of it.
Yeah, that's well played. And that's an important piece of utility. Elsewhere, an important fight. And it's saved to win it out. Karma falls. Odium, if and when they're able to breach open the wall, which they'll trick now on the western side. It's going to be so difficult for the likes of Reelers and for River to hold on, and it's now just River. A 1v5.
Saved. Give him the ace. In a quarterfinal matchup, saved with the entry to trophy. It's Dirty that gets the kill, but it is Odium that are looking so clean here inside of Chalet, and surely with that round, my tactical timeout sensors are tingling. They have to take a moment here, talk things over, come up with plan B. Plan B might just say, Karma, lurk basement, start roaming, and see if you can get us some kills, because they need someone to stand up. My sensors are wrong though. No timeout taken. Guys, talk things over. And that was a basic mistake. An error from Shont, gets himself stuck down below, easily pinched. And from there, the round just fell apart. Lost the trophy battle, lost the buff, lost on site, lost it all, and are just about moments away now from losing this quarterfinal.
Yeah, there was really only one world in which I saw Panic winning this series, and it's if they applied good early pressure, especially on their map pick, and they just haven't been able to achieve that. I did think there was a world in which Odium's mental could crumble a little bit in a matchup like this, but it just hasn't been the case. Panic, and most importantly, those key star players aren't firing on all cylinders. Too many key fights are being lost around the map, and then no one being able to pick up the scraps. Credit to Odium, they're playing quite well at the moment. See how round 9 concludes. An opportunity for Odium here to claim match point here on the second map. Quick series from them. And if they win this particular game, they will then go on to verse Man LFO, which can't help but feel that's probably going to be another competitive game from both. Oh, saved again. He drops Karma and the question mark.
Yeah, I mean, what is Karma doing? I mean, I did say, though, to be fair, he needs to get active and get aggressive, but maybe not that aggressive. And Saved is feeling confident. Double-digit kills. Karma is just not firing here in the playoffs. Negative on map 1, negative on map 2. The Karma Esports show has unfortunately arrived to its conclusion, and that conclusion might be elimination. Everyone else needs to rise to the occasion, though, now for Panic. This is not a round that is over. There are still 4 bodies up. And Bappen is spinning to win, waiting for that entry. Entry made. They go fast off the E1D, so clean. Oh, Bappen! My goodness! A statement made, and a second from President. What the hell's going on? What is going on? Utter dominance from Odium. Panic are in the bin and taken outside and put out on the side of the road. Holy! Match, series, quarter-final point.
Yeah, it's GG. I think it's GG after a round like that. Everything that could go wrong for Panic does. Karma loses the first fight. That's now 4 entries going the way of Saved, 3 of which have resulted in round wins. And then this from Bappen sends it in with the Amaru. Owen caught looking the other way, then able to snowball it into the second. And there's just nothing that the remaining 2 can do.
Well, we talk about players that are on the rise in this region. Bappen, does he get his fair share of credits? I mean, he's doing it in a massive playoff game. First map of Border, now into the second map of Chalet. Arguably been my MVP. Provided, of course, that Odium go on and win from here.
Well, I mean, 13-3 map 1, 10-5 map 2.
Not a contest.
Easy GG. MVP.
Incredible performance right now from Bappen, but it also has been a team effort from Odium in general. We've seen great moments from President in clutch situations. Saved. What a turnaround. Very slow start. 0-3, if I recall, on Border. And since then has been incredibly strong. Quixie. You think back to the beginning of Border, who set the tone early? It was Quixie. And Dirty also hasn't really put a foot wrong. So when you think about this performance from Odium, star individual power, team effort, great coordination, and domination of Panic. 7-2, now up 6-3. We thought this was going to be close. We thought this might go all 3 maps. We thought wrong. But 3 rounds for Panic to just maybe see if there's one more chapter remaining in this story.
Yeah, all eyes are going to be on Saved and Karma for the early portion of this round to see who wins that entry duel. It's been 3 entry battles in a row for Saved, and he's won every single one. Make it 4.
Wow.
Owen falls. Eventually, though, traded.
There he is.
And of all the players to execute the trade, it's Karma.
Yeah, I mean, I do somewhat feel for Karma. There's a lot on his shoulders. It feels like he has to do it all. Otherwise, it just won't get done. And that's a daunting task, and I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Oh, look at this vert. Bappen. Oh my goodness. When you're having some kind of night, it doesn't at all just go well. Karma tries but fails. And how could you expect that from Big Garage? Bappen gets his 11th kill of the game. 90 seconds left in this round. 4 versus 3. And the rotate over towards trophy window. River, he's stuck. Oh, I don't know.
Wait.
Bappen's
Oh.
aware.
Wait,
Oh, what's going on? He could be good for 2.
He's right there!
What is going on? What is happening?
He was right there!
Whoa, Quixie's he's got a duo, but what a round. I'm befuddled as to what has just happened there.
I think Fresh was right. That was pretty shit.
Well, that one round certainly didn't bode well, I'm not going to lie. Hard to shake that one. That's going to get clipped and shipped, and it's really not indicative as to what we've seen in this series, but certainly a moment that Bappen would love to forget, that Odium would love to forget, and it just gives Panic a lifeline. Oh, could you imagine what they could do with one lifeline? 40 seconds left in this round. President and Quixie, don't count them out. But up close, River, good site control, bathroom control. There's not a lot that Odium have in this round, and not a lot of time either.
I mean, Solace below. This should be pretty much unlosable for defense. President knows that he can't just hold the cross and rely on Quixie to win those battles. He needs to help be in a tradable position, so he'll reposition Ego Balk, Quixie to go deep, but only 10 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, no time here. Quixie's also got the kit, one in bathroom. Probably wanted him to swing at that moment to just give himself a chance. Flash and then in. Can't get the initial kill. Never mind, gets it. Needs to stick this and hold it. Now, there is that player below, and Shot was always in the best position, much to the chagrin and panic. Well, they take that lifeline. That little hiccup towards Trophy will benefit Panic, keep them alive. 6-4. And guys, you haven't heard no bell.
No, I don't hear the bell ringing yet.
But there is someone standing by about to ring it.
It's close. I want to know what the hell happened in Trophy there. That was
wild.
The messiest round we've seen in the series, arguably. It looked like Odium did have info, but they just didn't comment properly. I don't really know what happened. It was a bit weird. Maybe just those match point jitters creeping in a little bit. Who knows? Either way, though, an opportunity for Odium to brush that off. Still with 2 match points. Have a look at the replay. And it was Bappen, who's been a phenomenal player today. It's got time there. So just before that little engagement... just before that little engagement, they had a drone on him. So not too sure what's happening in the comm department. Either way, though, good work from Panic. They capitalize on that mistake. Odium haven't made many in this match.
Yeah, but it just gives Panic a sniff. 2 more rounds, though, required. On defense, it is their map pick, and it's still very much alive. This quarterfinal, not over just yet. Does take a little bit of the sting out of that momentum as well that Odium had gathered really going into that previous round. They were cooking. But now back to work. Karma. Got 1 in the previous round, but then traded pretty quickly. Down below, good positioning for Odium on the entry towards Big Garage. This time, though, up onto the roof. Is this the round now that Karma can activate? Others did stand up. Others did get them that round win.
Similar attacking lineup again here for Kitchen. Odium dropped the Thermite, though, this time around for a Lion, so maybe looking for a bit more crowd control around the map. We're to try and lock down the likes of Karma and Reelers, who are likely going to be lurking around that basement floor. Or perhaps up above, and they'll play Peel to Solar, and that looks like will be the case. Odium read into that correctly. Quixie will be eager to get over towards Office Wall, open up that hard breach above. Bappen as well. The Thermite actually does persist, so I apologize. They dropped the Lion. It is a very similar lineup to last time. No Nomad though, so flank watch could be a problem. So we'll keep an eye on that later on. Karma 6 and 10. Aggro position. Droned out. Able to escape.
Oh, that's an aggressive swing. Peeking there and through that smoke. And there's a glass on the board. Fortunately dirty though, just sitting outside. I mean, decent pressure right now from Panic, making it difficult for Odium to get some semblance of map control towards where they really want it. There was a slight little moment, but the reaction time would have to be, well, ungodly. RU still available for President. Saved with another opening kill. He's been so strong in that department. Karma towards bathroom, loses that battle to Saved as well. Looking for the trade, unsuccessful. And the 2-player advantage now for Odium. With 60 seconds left in the round, it feels like Reelers is the biggest win condition remaining for Panic in terms of being able to deny that plant from eventually going down, but he makes his way up towards West Main. Got a bit of a sniff as to where they may be pushing. Needed to maybe just get a little fortunate there outside towards Logs, but not to be holding still in this hallway towards West Main. As soon as those ROUs go out, the smokes followed, and then the Glaz play from 30, it will be very difficult for Panic. They honestly need to get on the front foot early. With 30 seconds left, you've got to take the fight now to Odium despite the man disadvantage. They are clearing aggressively all the way through. And I think they're actually opting for a kitchen plan. Oh, what a shot on the entry though. President will fall Bappen as well. Now watch Quixie. The kit in hand and needs to go down. Triple kill in the round for Save. One still inside a kitchen. That kid on the floor. Red time. They've got to get these kills and quickly. Can't get over to the plant in time. They're going to lose the round. That's it. Panic are going to make it 6-5. What a calamity of an attack. Question marks all around from Odium. A tactical timeout called immediately from President. Not happy with the way they executed a 5-on-3.
Yeah, Jitters creeping in, very much so. Very well played from River. Did his role absolutely perfectly.
You'd hate to throw it from here.
I mean, arguably, they already have. Guess how many entries in a row Saved has had? Successfully.
6.
No, 5.
Oh, that was close. That was pretty good.
But that's every single round in this half so far. Saved has given them that opportunity, and he doubled down, cutting the peel of the defense.
Well, how many
back to
did he have in
Solar.
the last half as well? Did you check there?
Oh, I'm talking about the streak. He had
So I was right.
1.
So 6.
No, I said
Well,
I said in a row.
You said in a row. Well,
Total 6 in a row. 5.
1, 2, 3. Oh no, he was the opening death. Never mind. He was involved in 6 opening kills in a row.
True.
Spun that one.
Yeah.
Tactical timeout, I think, perfect there from Odium. Probably, I don't know why we haven't seen him from Panic, and they probably should have done it a little while ago. But Odium, I think, sensing that, yeah, is it those jitters? Are there maybe miscomms? Coordination in the late round has been quite strange from Odium. They've gotten to this match point, and it's almost like a poison chalice. They just don't know how to actually now close this out. They got one more round to do so. Otherwise, overtime is going to be required here. And imagine you lose this map from the position that they had, and you then go into that third map with all the pressure in the world. It's
what I said before. I think it was when Odium initially got onto the match point, pretty much ready to call GG. I was like, the only world in which Panic win this game, and the reason why I predicted them, was they might be able to chalk Odium and pressure them and make them suffocate under that pressure. Up until this point, they haven't put any pressure on them. So this is a real telling moment in this series. If Odium are able to settle themselves with the usage of this tactical timeout, it bodes well for them, I think, for the rest of the playoffs. This goes to overtime. Poor.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it starts to get quite concerning, even beyond this game.
well, the concern for me as well is if Odium don't win it from here, Saved is just popping off. As you said, 5 opening kills in a row. Is that sustainable? Not really.
Well, and in 2 of those 5 entries, he's got into 4K. That was back in round 8. And then the last round, he got the 3K.
Yeah.
If you're not converting those rounds, what the hell's going on?
And to double down as well, Karma's 6-11. How often does that happen for Panic? It's not something that is likely to be replicated. If we had to go to Oregon, I would probably back in Karma to have a better performance than what we've seen here. So if Panic can take Chalet from here, it would be an incredible steal.
It's a robbery.
Oh, daylight.
Well, it's actually nighttime, but...
Well, right now in Chalet, it's
Chalet, it's sunny.
The sun is up. Match point still 1 more in regulation for Odium. Bappin, well, opening kill on to Karma. Not quite saved, but it still goes the way of Odium, and it's on Karma. 6 and 12. Hate to say it, but been largely irrelevant in this game.
Yeah, 1-3 entry as well.
Save doubles down. Okay, well, they were in this position just the last round prior in a 5-on-3, but this time they got themselves 2 minutes rather than 1 to not mess up from here. And the good news for me is they don't have to do any shenanigans with the Glaz and with the Sens. You got standardized operators here to finish this off. Shant, massive kill. And a massive game from Shant. Just takes away a little bit of that advantage that Odium had gathered early on with those opening kills.
Bomb located by attack.
Pressure on Reelers now. Library stairs. He's really the last hope for the defense, but he gets zoned out. Really good usage of the Hive launcher from Quixie. Reelers forced to reposition. Might be good to sneak a pick in towards Mud if he goes on drone. But there's still 9 drones available for the attack. So no excuses for Odium with this man advantage and time to be really thorough.
Time dwindling. This has been the issue 2 rounds in a row for Odium. Late round execution has been a bit fumbly. Dropping the bag. No saved to bail him out. 15 in an 8.
Here we go. Did they drone it?
Have they done their own work? Dirty. Into Mud. He does check hard right, and he will spot the head of Reelers. That could be the death sentence onto Panic. Shant with it all to do with the Nitrous Cell. Flashes towards his direction. Quixie gets his teammate. And unfortunately for Panic Esports, a very valiant stage, but it must now come to an end at the hands of Odium in this quarterfinal, with Quixie getting the final kill. Well, dominant from Odium. 7-2, 7-5. It's a 2-0 for Panic. It is their stage done. Commiserations. I think they should be pretty happy overall with the stage. They weren't really given much of a chance. At the end of the group stage, they were still fighting until the very last game. But for Odium, just better. Certainly on the night, they take this one honestly comfortably. They should have won Chalet a little bit more than even 7-5. That should have been like 7-3, 7-4 territory. They were great. They move forward into the semi-final now to take on Man Aleppo. Of course, that will be next week, and that will then put them with a chance at a grand final appearance, which would be massive. We go to the desk now and get their thoughts on this series.
Unfortunately, the storyline comes crashing down for Panic. We had such high hopes, but it has spiraled out of control in the end for them. Odium just looked way too clean, Dev. Way too good. And there's multiple facets that we could talk about, but the thing that just continuously got mentioned with these openings.
Exactly, especially on the two maps that we ended up playing, right? Chalet and Border, big, small maps, right? Very claustrophobic, and it comes down to the attack looking for those opening picks. So we talked about the stat coming into this game. The Odium are actually the worst opening entry conversion game team in the game at the moment for OCE, right? 45% of rounds they're finding those opening picks. On the flip side, Panic exceeding themselves, actually the third best in the region. A lot of that comes down to karma. And yeah, I was just really blown away by the fact that Odium struggled so much on those openings.
Yeah, I think it's not just that, but in this game in particular, I feel like Odium just brought in some really good ideas to both Border and Chalet that I think worked out really well. A lot of time when someone would get the opening pick, the player that they just killed wasn't even looking at them, right? There were so many first kills that came down to a cutoff or forcing a player to come back on the retake or do a rotation or something like that, right? And I felt like, especially with the way that Odium were playing Border early on, bringing along these ideas of doing direct attacks and that type of thing, Panic looked pretty lost in the way that they were rotating through the map. And I feel like that translated over to Chalet as well. As soon as they got into the attack, it just looked like they found all these great opportunities really early on in the game. And Guz pointed out pretty clearly towards the end that in the second half, every single first pick went in the way of saved, right? Yeah. And so that guy was always at the forefront of the attack. And the players that he was killing weren't even always looking at him. And I feel like the motion in which they were able to find those opening picks is just so unique.
Certainly was. And I'll give you a moment, but afterwards, because you want to know why?
What?
Prez, let's talk to him. Let's go and talk to the big man himself. President,
G'day.
A very big victory. Granted, we expected coming into this that you guys would be coming out on top, regardless of what we thought in predictions. But the big thing is mainly how this has happened. I saw a bit of a battle cry from you at the end there. This is obviously one that you wanted to get out of the way nice and early.
Yeah, it was. We knew coming into it, it's going to be a really tough game. Obviously, we lost them in the group stage. So yeah, I don't know. We just knuckled down the past week, got our prep right. We were really hoping for the second spot, but yeah, it's good to kind of play that game, that rematch against Panic, and kind of get a bit of revenge again. And I don't think it boosts our confidence a lot coming into semis as well. So yeah, good win.
Yeah, I just want to piggyback off that point a little bit, Prez. Your first loss this stage was against Panic, and at the time, everyone was kind of looking at them being like, oh, these guys maybe not really going to compete, maybe not be in the line for playoffs. What was it like going back into that game? What do you think you took away from losing to them last time and brought into this one?
I think last game, I'll be honest here, I kind of stuffed up the veto in our first game. That plays a role in that loss as well. But at the end of the day, I think they play a really good aggressive game. So coming into this one, it was kind of more focusing on strategy rather than kind of running around and shooting people. We knew they were going to play aggressive early. They were going to play those solo roams, those solo lurks. I just really focused on the RGLing and the shot calling and let the boys do all the shooting, and it worked well.
Do you feel like your style of IGLing has changed or evolved over the last year? So, historically, you've had some pretty interesting strategies in the server, but these ones look really robust, the ones that you're bringing in now. Do you feel like that's given you a better opportunity now to lead? How has that changed? Can you talk us through the process?
Yeah, 100%. I think the way I IGL is completely different to how I was IGLing 6 months ago. Credit goes out to Cairo. I learned a lot from him last stage. I think the way we can adapt now on the fly and come up with quick niche little attacks, like what you probably saw on Border, really confuses a lot of teams. And a team like Panic, who's really robust in how they defend and their setups, it really exploits that.
things are looking really fluid for you guys at the moment. I know that you mentioned one thing that you were isolating were those opening fights, finding roamers. Dev had a statistic at the very start of the night, which is, and this shocked all of us, that Odium are actually the worst entry stat team in the league. However, things have completely flipped around tonight in particular. Are you putting that entirely down to this prep work that you've done, knowing that there were going to be isolated roamers?
Yes, and I think another big thing with the entry kills as well is we know out of all the games we play, that has been a real big detriment into why we've lost rounds and why we've lost games. It's always been that first kill, and not necessarily losing that first kill, but trading that off.
Yep.
So a lot of our attacks, I think we're the best attacking team in the league anyways, but I don't know, it doesn't really kind of feel like it sometimes because we're always kind of playing a man down on attack and even defense a lot of the time. It's kind of that, bringing it back from that 45. So I think once we kind of figure that out and get gelled into so that we can be playing those trades, then I don't know, we'll just be absolute beasts. It'd be crazy.
I think you're starting to hit that final form. Any questions from you two before we go? You don't have to.
Only thing I just want to say is you actually are the best attacking team in the league. I got the stats here, except for Bliss. But who knows? You might find them in the grand final.
Who cares about those guys?
Hey, the conversation has to change eventually, mate. And it looks like you guys are on track. Anything you'd like to say before we let you go?
Shout out Odium as always. Really good support behind the scenes. Beulah, Jewel Apparel, Reaper Sups. Reaper Sups got us locked for tonight, so go over there, get some subs, And yeah, shout out to the team. We're putting in heaps of prep work. Little prep before the stage, but we're playing every night. We're putting in the work and starting a show. And yeah, hopefully we can make it to the major, baby.
Yeah, that's it, mate. You should be incredibly proud, and the rest of the team should be incredibly proud of where you are at the moment, mate. So congratulations, and I can't wait for your game against Man LFO next week.
Yeah, it'll be a cracker. Thanks, guys.
Take care.
See ya.
Again, every night we get to speak to this roster, I feel more confident, which is super strange to say, because in this region for the last 12 months, I feel like interviews have done the team worse. When I come on the back end of it, I'm like, some of these people really are just here for the charismatic interviews. But we get a lot of insight there from Prez, it really is obvious, Dev, that this team is coming leaps and bounds. Do Bliss need to be careful now?
Well, Bliss actually said Oda in his interview after they played Odium and lost 6 rounds to them, lost a point to them. It was Oda, who said Odium are looking like the second best team in this league right now. That's the hardest game that we've had so far. And I think that really speaks volumes to what Odium have achieved. Like we've said, they've exceeded our expectations. I thought that they had a roster downgrade in the offseason. Turns out it was a big upgrade. And the players that have stuck through thick and thin, Bappen and Saved in particular, they're at their peak performance right now, which I think is fantastic. And President, I think, has got the leadership skills to really form up this team into something real. It is a disappointment that they didn't come in second seed. Losing that game to Antic was a bit of a surprise for us.
Yep.
But now that they've taken down Panic in a quite convincing fashion, they get an opportunity to teach Man LFO a lesson and maybe make a statement that it should have been Odium in that second seed.
Should have been at the moment. Mandy, any final comments?
Final comments? Look, I don't know Prez that personally, to be honest, but over the last year, he looks like he's grown up a lot as a person and as a leader, to be honest. I think the way he's able to admit his mistakes, messing up the veto last time they played Panic, talking a bit about how he's learned from other people in the region, like Cairo. To me, that's a hallmark of someone that cares a lot about the game and is growing a lot as well. So I think props to Prez for bringing this team together and making it work. And honestly, I think they look like they've done a lot of prep work behind the scenes. The work has definitely gone into Odium. And that's something that's really great to see.
It is, and it's starting to put pressure on the top end, which is kind of exciting because Bliss have not had a challenger in this region since 2022. That may be about to change, but we've got a long way between then and now. Commiserations to Panic, unfortunately, who are now out of the playoffs. They now play a 5th seeding match, which will be next week, so we'll still see them, still get a little bit more of an insight as to where that roster's at. You do not want to go anywhere. After this break, our second quarterfinal of the night, Circular Spheres look to double down on their victory against Antic.
2-0 for Panic. It is their stage done. Commiserate.